What is Agile? Agile is an iterative and incremental approach to project management and software development that emphasizes collaboration, customer involvement, and rapid adaptation to change. It values individuals and interactions over processes and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and responding to change over following a plan. What are the core values of Agile? The four core values of Agile are individuals and interactions over processes and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and responding to change over following a plan. What are some common Agile frameworks? Some common Agile frameworks include Scrum, Kanban, XP, Extreme Programming, and SAFe, Scaled Agile Framework. What is Scrum? Scrum is an iterative and incremental Agile framework for managing complex projects. It involves short development cycles called sprints, daily stand-up meetings, and regular retrospectives. What are the roles in a Scrum team? Well, the key roles in a Scrum team are the product owner, who is responsible for defining and prioritizing the product backlog, the Scrum Master, who facilitates the Scrum process and removes impediments, and the development team, which is the team that actually develops the product. So, what is a sprint? A sprint is a short, time-boxed iteration, typically lasting between 2 to 4 weeks, during which a potentially shippable increment of the product is created. Now, what is a daily stand-up? It's a short daily meeting, usually about 15 minutes, where the development team members synchronize their work and discuss any impediments. So, what is a retrospective? Well, it's a meeting held at the end of each sprint where the team reflects on their performance and identifies areas for improvement. Alright, so what is Kanban? Kanban is a visual system for managing work as it moves through a process. It emphasizes continuous flow and limiting work in progress, often abbreviated as YP. Now, what is a user story? A user story is a brief, informal description of a feature or functionality from the perspective of the end user. It typically follows the format. As a type of user, I want some goal so that some reason. How do you handle a team that is resistant to Agile? I would approach this by first understanding the reasons for their resistance. Then I would focus on educating them about the benefits of Agile, addressing their concerns and involving them in the transition process. Additionally, I would look for early successes to demonstrate the value of Agile. How do you coach a product owner to effectively prioritize the product backlog? I would coach the product owner on various prioritization techniques such as Moscow, value versus effort, and WSJF. Furthermore, I would help them understand the importance of focusing on delivering value to the customer and aligning the backlog with the overall product vision. How do you help a team estimate stories effectively? I would introduce them to estimation techniques like story points and relative sizing. Moreover, I would encourage them to break down large stories into smaller, more manageable ones. Finally, I would emphasize the importance of collaborative estimation and avoiding comparisons to time. How do you deal with dependencies between teams? Well, I would facilitate communication and collaboration between the teams. I would help them identify and visualize dependencies and work together to resolve them. Techniques like dependency boards and regular inter-team meetings can be really useful. How do you handle conflict within a team? First, I would try to understand the root cause of the conflict. Then, I would facilitate a discussion between the team members involved, encouraging them to communicate openly and respectfully. I would help them find a solution that works for everyone. How do you measure the success of an Agile team? I would use a combination of metrics, including velocity, cycle time, customer satisfaction, and team morale. It's crucial to focus on value delivered and outcomes, not just output. So how do you scale Agile in a large organization? Well, I would use a scaling framework like SAFe, I would focus on aligning teams around a shared vision and roadmap, establishing clear roles and responsibilities, and implementing effective communication channels. What is your understanding of Lean principles and how do they relate to Agile? Lean principles focus on eliminating waste and maximizing value. They align well with Agile by emphasizing efficiency, continuous improvement, and customer focus. Lean tools and techniques can be effectively integrated with Agile practices. How do you coach a team to become self-organizing? I would empower the team to make their own decisions and encourage them to take ownership of their work. I would provide guidance and support, but avoid micromanaging. I would help them establish clear working agreements and facilitate regular retrospectives to identify areas for improvement in self-organization. How do you facilitate a PI planning event? Well, I would ensure all necessary preparations are in place, including the right participants, a defined vision, and an initial backlog. During the event, I would guide the teams through the planning process, facilitating dependency management, risk identification, and the creation of PI objectives. I would ensure the event stays on track and that all voices are heard. Describe a time when you had to coach a team through a difficult transition to Agile. What challenges did you face and how did you overcome them? For example, in my previous role, the team was very waterfall-oriented and resistant to change. They struggled with the iterative nature of Agile and the emphasis on collaboration. I addressed this by conducting training sessions, providing one-on-one coaching, and demonstrating the benefits of Agile through pilot projects. One key challenge was their fear of losing control. I addressed this by working with the team to define clear roles and responsibilities within the Agile framework. Ultimately, we were able to successfully transition the team to Agile, resulting in a 20% increase in their velocity and improved customer satisfaction. How do you create a culture of continuous improvement within an organization? I would foster a learning environment where people are encouraged to experiment, take risks, and learn from their mistakes. I would promote the use of retrospectives at all levels, team, art, portfolio, and encourage people to share their learnings. I would also advocate for the adoption of a growth mindset and celebrate both successes and failures as opportunities for learning. How do you deal with a stakeholder who is not supportive of Agile? Well, I would first try to understand the reasons for their lack of support. Then I would focus on educating them about the benefits of Agile and addressing their concerns. I would try to find common ground and demonstrate how Agile can help them achieve their goals. Involving them in the process as much as possible and looking for opportunities to show them early successes can also make a big difference. How do you coach a leader to become an Agile leader? I would help the leader understand the principles of Agile leadership, which include empowering teams, fostering a culture of trust and collaboration, and embracing change. I would provide coaching and mentoring and help them develop the skills and behaviors necessary to lead in an Agile environment. Also, encouraging them to lead by example and embody the Agile values is crucial. How do you measure the effectiveness of your Agile coaching? I would use a combination of quantitative and qualitative measures. Quantitatively, I would track metrics like team velocity, cycle time, and customer satisfaction. Qualitatively, I would gather feedback from team members, stakeholders, and leaders. Reflecting on my own performance and identifying areas for improvement is also an important part of the process. How do you handle a situation where a team is consistently underperforming? First, I would try to understand the root cause of the underperformance. This might involve observing the team's work, talking to team members, and reviewing metrics. Then I would work with the team to develop a plan to address the issues. This might involve providing additional training, coaching, or mentoring. Helping the team to identify and remove any impediments that are blocking their progress is